Hello everybody, my name is CulBlu and I am ready to bring you guys the Heaven and Hell Dota 2 Tournament Cup thingamabob, whatever you want to call it. It's an awesome event. Like I said before, if you guys see the rest of my videos, it's a very long event and it's been going on for quite a while, and I'm glad to be here to cast this game for these guys. So yeah, we're just going to watch this game, Team Property BB2 versus Ahead.kz. And I think if memory serves me correctly, Team Property, they were in the last match that I casted, and I think we saw some awesome things happen from that match. But I'm not too terribly sure. I don't remember everything clearly. I need to go back and watch videos or whatever. But at the end of the day, guys, we got ourselves a match on our hands. This is a best of 3, and already we have seen the teams actually win a game already. So I came in a little bit late, so I'm once again trying to play catch up. But hopefully these guys do go to a best of 3 because that would be freaking awesome. But as of right now, Team Property are up by 1, Ahead.kz are down, so they do need a victory if they want to pull this one out, or if they want to continue fighting. Because this is a best of 3, like I said before. This is the winner's bracket of the Heaven and Hell Dota 2 tournament event, sponsored by, or hosted by
10 seconds remaining.
ShowMatch, hosted by ShowMatch, and sponsored by Host Cross Host. So definitely go check them out. The links and descriptions and stuff will be at the bottom of the description, so you guys can check it out there. Yada yada yada. Alright, so as far as the bans and picks go, we got a Lich ban out, we got an Elo Titan ban out, we also got a Bounty ban out. And as far as all the bans, I mean, Lich, he's become relatively standard as of late because he gets free XP for anybody that is in his lane with his denials of creeps, and his ulti is always useful when a big team fight does break out. Especially when everybody's trying to clump up and, I don't know, trying to focus people who aren't Lich. So having him banned out does make a lot of sense. Elder Titan, on the other hand, he's more so in your face with the Astral Spirit, just doing a whole bunch of stuff just to be as annoying as possible. And then after he finishes annoying the crap out of you with his Astral Spirit, like he keeps poking you and poking you and poking you, he basically just gets a whole bunch of free damage and then walks up to you because he moves super fast now and punches you in the face and does a crap ton of damage. So having him banned out, definitely a good thing to have, definitely a good thing to do, because you just don't want to face that sometimes. And also his Echo Stomp, really annoying thing to deal with. It's really nice to set up team fights, and it's also really bad if you get caught in it. So there you go. So he's banned out. Bounty banned out. Basically doesn't want to make, or wants to make sure that Ahead.kz don't get any gold to get ahead. See what I do there, guys? No, okay, me neither. Or it could be a respect ban. It very well could be a respect ban from the last match. Like I said, I did not, or was not able to cast the last match, so I don't really have anything too intelligent to say behind the Bounty Hunter ban, outside of they don't want them to win the mid game, or they don't want them to have trap gold. So that's really about it. As far as the bans on Ahead.kz, they banned out a Lich, like I said before, he's become standard, and they banned out a Pugna as well. Pugna very powerful. He was almost always powerful. It's just he just died so easily that people just ignored him and picked other things like Enigma or Magnus Eye, or Rubik's. And speaking of Rubik's, Ahead.kz do pick up a Rubik and a Doombringer combination. I'm very excited to see how this Doombringer does play out. From the few times that I've seen Doombringer play in competitive play, basically it's essentially you want to get an AC as fast as you possibly can. I'm not necessarily saying rush forward straight up, but once you get an AC as Doombringer, you become so much more survivable. It's very scary. But you can also play an Aghanim Scepter Doombringer, you can play a Shadow Blade Aghanim Scepter Doombringer, you can play I don't think I've seen a Desolator Doombringer, but you can do that too. I've seen a Tornado Stick Doombringer. I don't know. I don't know why. I think he was trying to play race car. Anyway, so I'll be very interested to see how Ahead.kz do decide to play that Doombringer. Moving on to the Team Property BB2 side, they got a Crystal Maiden, they got the Enchantress. They have a very aggressive early game, basically because Crystal Maiden, she's the definition of early game aggression with her spells. Crystal Nova does do a whole bunch of damage relative to how much it costs. It costs 100 mana to do a whole entire 100 damage, a smack dab 100 damage. And it's also AoE, it's pretty fun to use. And Enchantress, she can get that fast creep to just show up and throw a net on top of somebody. She gets a Dark Troll from the jungle and just get an easy kill on whoever's there. And easy first bloods can possibly happen for Team Property BB2. Now, moving on to the rest of the bans, we got a Clockwork ban and a Viper ban, and the only thing I can really say about those two is, I mean, Viper, it's highly possible that that's a respect ban from last game. Like I said, guys, I'm trying to work with what I got here. The Viper, I wouldn't necessarily say it's a bannable offense, but I mean, yeah, you can get rid of him so his poison doesn't slow you down while you're doing while a team fight is breaking out, I guess. Clockwork, initiation power with a Rappel is really nice, and also his power cogs are really nice as well. Just basically drain all the mana of any melee person he faces up against, or any ranged person sometimes. It's just very annoying, very hard to deal with a lot of times as far as preventing him from initiating on top of you, because he can usually initiate from wherever the heck he pleases. Just rappels in, throws power cards, and then suddenly the rest of his team shows up. So he's going to be banned out by Ahead.kz. I do understand that ban. Now Team Property, they ban out the Night Stalker, they ban out the Weaver, and Night Stalker, he received the buff in the last patch. I have not really seen it been played to its fullest potential yet, as in I haven't really seen like any like next level thinking with the Night Stalker pickup. But that said, he does still reduce everybody's vision by 25% with his ulti now. Whenever he pops it, so that's always a really good thing to have, just to be able to creep up on people and just stalk them until they die. Just to put it into perspective, essentially every hero in the game, with the exception of a few people like Night Stalker and some other people, have a vision range of 800 at nighttime, and compare that to the normal daytime vision range, with the exception of a few people, they have a vision range of about 1800. So that's 1,000 difference if you guys don't want to do the math or anything. But basically, you don't see all that far away at nighttime. And if you reduce that nighttime vision that you get, that all 800 of it, by 25%, you're pretty much seeing a whole entire, not much, like what, 600 vision range, which is essentially the attack range of a Gyro Ranger. Just to put that into perspective. So yeah, you don't see that far. You can see further. You can use your attack sometimes, but having Night Stalker banned out, I do understand where they're going with that, but I still haven't seen any like next level thought processes come out from the Night Stalker yet. I still haven't personally witnessed that. Let me clarify. So moving on to the picks, we got the Mirana pick, we got the Alchemist pick. Alchemist, very nice carry to go for. I'm a little concerned about the lineup though in Ahead.kz, because Alchemist does need his free farm, he does need his gold, and Doombringer, same thing. Otherwise, Doombringer is just there just to doom, I don't know, doom Gyrocopter and run away. But if they want to get the most out of the Doombringer Alchemist, they're probably going to put them on primary farmers, or as primary farmers. Let Alchemist get his Grievel's Greed and possibly get a Shadow Blade to be involved in mid game, or let Doombringer get his Creep Edo and get a Hand of Midas and possibly get a Shadow Blade to be a little bit effective in the mid game. But at the end of the day though, I don't see a very strong mid game coming out from Ahead.kz. Alchemist, yeah, he can get his gold fast, or he can get his big items fast because he gets that gold income, but if he's with a Doombringer and Doombringer wants to farm as well, I don't see Alchemist getting like all the gold that he needs, because he kind of needs every bit of it just to be that scary Alchemist that we all know, that Alchemist with an AC plus a Melanier, which nobody ever builds anymore. Also with the Shadow Blade, if you decide to go for that, and a Hand of Midas if you want to be really greedy, Booster Travel, Heart, and Basher or A-Blade. I don't know, like not all those items are good final like last game items, but I'm just mentioning items here. So anyway, my point being, Alchemist and Doombringer, they're probably going to be soaking up all the farm on the map, so it's going to be very important for Ahead.kz to pick a very, very level-dependent mid, as opposed to somebody who really needs a whole bunch of gold. Moving on to Team Property, they picked up the Gyrocopter, they picked up the Timbersaw. Gyrocopter, standard carry, still a standard carry. Flat Cannon equals free damage on everybody around you. That's all you really need to know to get caught up on that. And Timbersaw, on the other hand, Timbersaw, I've become more and more impressed by Timbersaw the more and more I see him played. Basically, reactive armor, really nice for helping him survive, and also if you just give him a freaking Bloodstone, he just doesn't die. I don't know why. He just won't die. He's like Bristleback without the Bristleback. So anyway, we got the Queen of Pain banned out by Ahead.kz. We also got the Darkseer banned out by Team Property. So Darkseer made it this far, not going to get picked up. And that said, Ahead.kz pull a nice little curveball on us. They pick up a Witch Doctor. And I am extremely excited to see what they decide to do with this, because by the looks of it, they're going to have a Doombringer mid, dual lane, or tri-lane with the Rubik plus Alchemist and Witch Doctor, and they're going to have Mirana in the off lane. And I am awfully curious to see how this Witch Doctor plays out, especially if Gyrocopter decides to go for a fast Helmet of Dominator. It's a very little technical thing, probably not the most exciting thing to mention here, because there's a whole bunch of other possibilities, but basically that's like easy stuns for Witch Doctor. If that does happen, when that does happen. And we got Evoker last pick up by Team Property, so some not so standard picks on the last two, and I'm excited for that because that means I get to make some predictions and, you know, just throw stuff at the wall and hopefully something sticks. But as far as the Invoker goes, we'll likely see a Quaz Exort Invoker because they do have room for, they do need a little bit more damage on their side. And have an Invoker run that mid, and then just be able to just drop or do a nice little drop down of damage on top of whoever is getting engaged upon. That might help him out a lot in the early game, especially considering the fact that Crystal Maid and Enchantress are going to be very aggressive in the early game. So We're probably going to see first blood happen within the first 5 minutes. I'm just going to go and call it now, guys. Within the first 5 minutes, we're probably going to see first blood. And I'm probably going to miss it, because I'm like the best caster in the world. I know, guys. I understand. Alright, so everybody's all picked up on both sides, but let me go and start off on the side of the Radiant, since I recognize the name. So Team Prop is what I shall call them for the entire duration of this match. I don't know their full name, but Prop will be good enough for our purposes. And on this Invoker, we have stand-in Melon on Invoker, who's actually going to the safe lane. On this Timbersaw, we see Flop Plox on that Timbersaw, and on this Crystal Maiden, we see Frigolet on Crystal Maiden. On this Enchantress, hanging out right next to the nice little curry with crab. We see Steefy Style on Enchantress, and last but not least, on this person who I can't find, there we go, Gyrocopter, we see Syso on that Gyro. Almost a fitting name. And look, this Gyrocopter fist pumping. That's what I'm talking about, guys. Fist pump. Sorry, I watched the regular show. It's an awesome show. You guys should check it out. Moving over to the other side, moving on to their opponents on Ahead.kz. These guys are not ahead by any means, by any stretch of the word. They're actually behind right now, but their name is Ahead, so maybe they'll pull ahead and give us a game 3. We see Gator on that Mirana. Moving over to this Doombringer, we see Damamu on Doombringer, and on this Witch Doctor who has a snake around his neck. We see Marin on him, and on this mid Alchemist. Wow. We see Slander on that Alchemist. Moving over to this Rubik, we see S-Creen on Rubik, and that's pretty much it for all the callouts on the map. And guys, yes, CulBlu done got thrown for a nice little curveball, because I totally forgot. This is post-patch, guys. This is post-patch. Basically, what I mean by that is that really, it's not all that effective to go for a tri-lane. It's really not that effective to go for a tri-lane, because the lanes, I mean, you're not going to really be accomplishing much, because the creeps are going to meet right about here, which is like the safest place in the world for anybody all by themselves to farm at. So on both sides of the suicide lane, they can farm relatively easily, which means that you can send the carry up there, you can send whoever you want up there. You can send a primary farmer up here, and they'll be fine. Just to put into perspective, just keep in mind the creeps used to meet right about there before the patch. So that's a long ways away from base, and that's a lot of distance that now the Radiant do not have to cover, or do not have to worry about. And also, just analyze the crap out of this. Basically, by having the creeps meet like right about here on this side and right about there on that side, it just basically kills this entire lane of harassment that the supports could have done on both sides. So that's really why all that comes into play. That's why tri-lanes aren't really all that effective, because you won't really have a support to just throw a whole bunch of free stuff there. And speaking of tri-lanes, up top we got a lot of damage getting done to Rubik, like a Witch Doctor will be going down. Steph's Style will be able to pick up that. Meanwhile, mid we got meanwhile down bottom we got Invoker really low, really low. The rotation did come from Crystal Maiden Enchantress up to top, so Invoker was left all alone, but the rotation did come out of the jungle. But like I said before, guys, Crystal Maiden plus Enchantress shows me that these guys are going to be as aggressive as they possibly can early game, and they are not disappointing just yet. It only took about, what, 90 seconds? Less than 5 minutes, much less than 5 minutes for the first blood to happen. And speaking of first bloods, down bottom we might have a second blood happen here soon. Rubik getting a little bit aggressive, just trying to push that Invoker out. Invoker really can't do anything, because he is a Quas. He did go for Quas first, so it can be survivable in his lane, because he knew that the Enchantress will not be here to help him. He's all by himself. But my question is, will he be going for something such as a Hand of Midas? Because if he does, I don't really see him doing all that much to help his team.
Dire's top tower is
yeah, sure, he can get a little bit fast levels, but not really. He's actually going straight up Quas, so he's trying to make sure he stays alive in his lane. No boost just yet, so he probably doesn't want to get too risky on top of anything. And we will not be seeing any Sunstrikes, guys. And I'm actually slightly excited about this, because he hasn't decided whether he's going to be a Quas Wex or Quas Exor. But anyway, up top we got a lot of damage getting done to Doombringer. Doombringer pops out Orange Carpet, surviving for a little bit, getting all that regen coming from both Witch Doctor and the Orange Carpet. That is a whole bunch of regen going his way. 20 HP regen, not including Witch Doctor's heal. And now Rubik comes up, throws the telekinesis on top of Syso, and Syso will be turned around, throw out his nice little rocket barrage. If I can ever get my camera control, we can see this, but we will not be able to see this too soon. No, one survives, and it looks like Doombringer will be able to backside, just barely survives. Finally does go down. Gyrocops able to finish off with the flat cannon shot, like a boss. Meanwhile, down bottom, we got Invoker engaged upon a Mirana. Mirana, she does have a leap, so she should be fine. Nothing too bad should happen. But Yeah, so 2 kills going the way of the Radiant so far. And we got Alchemist with that global all chat saying B. I'll show you better back up. And I actually do like this matchup. Now that I see it more, or now that I'm seeing it play out. Now that I'm seeing it play out. Timbersaw versus Alchemist. Really nice matchup for both sides, I guess. Because Timbersaw essentially gets free reactive armor stacks because of Acid Spray. But then again, at the same time, Alchemist gets to remove all that armor that Timbersaw does claim with that just by throwing Acid Spray. So it's kind of a push-pull. At the end of the day, Timbersaw does win out because even though he's taking a tick of damage, all he has to do is just take it once and walk away. He gets 16 free HP for it. And to put that into perspective, how much damage does Acid Spray do? Acid Spray does a whole entire 26 damage. So I guess not the best of trades, but he does get some more armor once he walks out of that. Once he walks out of the range of that. So yeah, cool stuff. And last hits to the knives because I want to see really fast before any action goes down. We see a last hit going towards the Gyrocopter with a bunch of last hits. Crucible on top. We have the Enchantress, Hellbear Smasher gonna be going down, and the tower is actually exposed. The lane has been pulled. It's a single pull. That's really all you need to do nowadays. Crucible getting pulled, and she might be in a lot of trouble. Witch Doctor does throw out the casket. Casket does bounce on top of 2 perfect bounces, exactly what they wanted. Crucible throws out the froze by Doombringer does his carry. He gets a kill on top of Crucible anyway because that burn damage OP. And now Doombringer's on the run, getting hit with a whole bunch of damage. The Enchantress just needs one more right click, does get it, and the tower goes down as well. The creep's able to claim all of that. So at the end of the day, a Crystal Maiden for a Witch Doctor and a Doombringer. And like I said, guys, this build or this matchup. This lineup for Ahead.kz is really greedy because Alchemist needs his farm and so does Doombringer. And as of right now, Doombringer is not getting any of that farm just yet. The top lane, this top safe lane wasn't really all that safe. The rotation did come in very early from Enchantress because she can't just show up from the jungle and just kill him all day long. And I actually do really like the play from this because Enchantress did decide to go in the offensive jungling, which is why she's up here for so long. So this is technically a pseudo tri-lane. This is like the new meta for tri-lanes, where basically you have your jungler in the enemy jungle. But anyway, at any rate, there's essentially a tri-lane on tri-lane action going on, and Mirana just went down. Well, sorry guys, missed a kill. Mirana went down.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
My bad. Anyway, my point being was that the top lane just getting shredded to pieces. Doombringer Night Elf, we get the safe farm that he wanted. If he's going for Vladimir's offering, which he probably isn't, he's not going to have it anytime soon. Whatever he's going to be going for, he's not going to have it anytime soon. Meanwhile, Timbersaw is mid, still hanging on to a few things. We got a fight happening at the runes. Arrow from Mirana does fly, misses everything. Actually, has arrow from Mirana does fly, does miss everything. Witch Doctor throws out the casting, catches a Witch Doctor, or catches a Invoker. Invoker does get pulled right back. No Ghost Walk just yet. Throws out Tornado, beautiful Tornado. And this is a Claws Wax Invoker. He is trying to GTF though. He does survive the right click. So here comes Timbersaw saying, "Bro, you better back up. My bro is here, and y'all don't want it." He's gonna go ahead and throw a nice little Timbersaw. He's trying to go for the kill on top of his Rubik. Rubik actually gonna TP out. Mirana gonna stop the Timbersaw, and Rubik very smartly so continue to run away instead of trying to turn and fight because he knew he was out of mana. Meanwhile, Doombringer in a lot of trouble. Does throw a nice little stomp. Does miss everything. Does get hit with the Gyrocopter call down. He's not dead. You said Witch Doctor too much heal. Not heal enough. Crucible Maiden, Enchantress. Jeez, I keep mixing those two up. Steph style on that Enchantress, able to help finish off that Doombringer who had Buku region. Because Witch Doctor had that Voodoo Restoration, and we also had a Doombringer who had that orange carpet, which I like to call it, healing him up for a whole entire 20? 18, whatever. That's close. 18 regen, so a lot of regen going his way, but not enough to stop the pain train in the form of Enchantress and her peeps. Meanwhile, down bottom, we got Invoker chasing on Mirana. Does throw a Tornado. Beautiful Tornado. Does not land. Very close to it, though. Trying to go for the kill on Mirana. Mirana will be getting hit with the EMP. I'm not too sure how much damage she'll be doing, though. She does pop herself a magic wand instantly. Now Invoker's in a lot of trouble. He does not get the kill, and that just might have cost him the nice little lane that he was getting down bottom. Meanwhile, on top, we got Crucible in a little bit of trouble. She does get hit with the stun from Alchemist. She will not be able to make us one alive, and she just got surrounded in the jungle all by herself. There was an Enchantress right near her, but I mean, all she could really do is send maybe 2 creeps to go die. Really about it.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So as far as last hits and denies go, I mean, Gyrocopter is still doing really well. His farm is probably looking excellent because he's been involved in 5 kills. That is essentially like 80%, almost 90, actually probably 90%. 90% of all the kills that his team has been involved in. I mean, Alchemist ulti does fall through. Using it to regen up some more mana and also regen up some HP. Why not? Rotation's coming in for Timbersaw. Timbersaw needs to be very careful. I don't think he has vision on his high ground. But if he does walk up this high ground, he will be dead. Rubik does have telekinesis. Stun from Alchemist will be flying here very soon. Timbersaw not going to be able to get into the trees fast enough. He's in a lot of trouble. No telekinesis just yet from Rubik. And that's a dead Timbersaw. Timbersaw does go down, but here comes the rotation coming in from the Radiant. They're trying to go for the kill. Invoker trying to get that last hit on top of the Witch Doctor. Too much heal going his way. Now we got Chris Mann. She did just shatter from the middle of nowhere. Mirana able to finish off on top of that. Now Invoker really wishes he had a point in the Exor, but he's going to get hit in the back with the arrow. Does go down. Double kill from Mirana. Said, who needs a bounty hunter when you have a Mirana with arrows that can just track you anyway? Meanwhile, up top, we got Orange Carpet getting thrown down by Doombringer. He's now officially trying to run. He will be TPing away, and Enchantress did not decide to pursue the kill. But she could have. She would have been able to claim that kill. She wasn't really sure who was coming around the corner, and the only person coming around the corner was Mirana, who doesn't have enough mana for arrow plus leap. So she probably would have been able to throw an arrow to scare him off, and maybe do a little bit of damage. But if these guys would have stayed and fought, if they would have known that she was dead, then they probably would have been able to kill the Mirana as well as the
Dire's
Doombringer.
middle tower is under attack.
So Alchemist is coming on forward. Haste is up on top of him. He's going to go for the straight up kill on top of his Timbersaw. Timbersaw on a lot of trouble. TP's coming in galore. These guys want to get the kill. Timbersaw timber chaining away like a boss, trying to play spider chain, and he will be able to actually timber chain away. The other side, no, Rubik gets telekinesis off just in time. Timbersaw will timber chain. Does get hit with stun and does stop the timber chain, and he does go down. Alchemist feeling like a boss, claiming the gold for that kill. And Ahead.kz, they may not have had the best of starts, but they are definitely scrapping their way back into this mid game, because this mid game, I mean, it's not here yet, but we're getting closer and closer to it, and both sides are going toe to toe. Surprisingly, the top lane, like I said, they did not have the best of times, but the bottom lane, I guess they didn't have the best of times either. Sorry, the top lane on the Dire side, Ahead.kz didn't have the best of times, but the bottom lane, actually the bottom lane for the Ahead.kz didn't have the best of times either. Just the roaming power coming out from Ahead.kz is just a lot more stronger. And that's to be expected when you have somebody like a Mirana. And also Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor is very useful when people are trying to just show up and gang up on you. And Witch Doctor versus Enchantress, I don't know why I didn't think of that off the top of my head. But guys, that is a great pick to go against somebody who controls a whole bunch of creeps. Because basically this creep will be involved in every fight. When a fight does happen, that creep is going to be in the front trying to get a stun or trying to get his ability off. If you have a Witch Doctor, just throw a casket at it and you pretty much get a stun, you guarantee stun on top of at least 2 people. So Witch Doctor next level Dota thinking right now, and this is what I love to see. Meanwhile, we got Doombringer coming on the corner. His ulti is up, does throw on top of Garcop. Garcop, no call down to get thrown down, but it looks like Doombringer will be dying in the process of all this. Mirana will be falling right afterwards. Pops up a healing salve, or pops up a magic wand, does survive. Witch Doctor casket bouncing around, it's going to be bounced on top of 2. Witch Doctor ulti does fly through as well. I don't think he got a maledict off, but it doesn't matter. And Alchemist will be on the chase to his Enchantress. Enchantress is getting hit with those wisps. Meanwhile, we got a Timbersaw trying to go for the kill on top of Rubik. Rubik able to do a nice little bit to keep Timbersaw from getting too close to him. Does end the life of all that was there. And Invoker trying to see if he can get away. He will be able to sneak away. The Ghost Walk was able to save his life. And yes, guys, I'm totally sorry. I did say this before, but I said Invoker really wishes he had Exort so he can pop Ghost Walk. But obviously, guys, you don't need Exort to pop Ghost Walk. Obviously, I mean, come on. Who thinks that? Alright, Pink's coming on the map. They're saying, hey, Invoker's here, Invoker's there, Invoker's everywhere, but they should see that Invoker's now mid. The creeps are getting ghost walked in. It looks like Invoker will need to be starting the GTFO. Alchemist doesn't really have anything to sneak up on him, but he is going to be going for a Shadow Blade. And as far as that, let's go take a look at the rest of the items, because Enchantress has herself a Hand of Midas. Hand of Midas Enchantress, she wants to get her farm, she wants to get an Aghanim Scepter soon, she wants to be able to do some damage on top of any and everybody who shows up. As far as Gyrocopter goes, he's going for straight up BKB, which means that's going to delay his damage by a little bit. I would, in this fight, going for BKB first would be the wisest thing, because you have so much crowd control coming out from Ahead.kz. That is not even funny. You have Telekinesis, you have Witch Doctor's stun, which is very annoying to deal with. You have Rubik. Oh, sorry, I said Telekinesis. You have Alchemist stun. You also have Mirana arrow. So you have essentially 4 stuns. Is that 4? Yeah, 4 stuns you got to worry about. So going for BKB first will allow Gyrocopter to be a little bit more effective in these team fights. So I do like that. I do like that item pickup. Meanwhile, Enchantress feeling very sad that she only has 800 vision now, as opposed to her original 1800. So no easy gains coming out from that. But she did steal a creep. Gonna go ahead and send that creep on elsewhere because A, why not? Meanwhile, Doombringer just picking himself up something pretty. I think he just got some face boots or a TP scroll. Probably a TP scroll. And down bottom, we got the pings coming on the map. They're saying, hey, somebody's here. I don't think...
Allies
Oh, never mind. Mirana arrow does go. Sorry, Mirana ulti does fly through, and she does reveal the fact these guys are invisible. Timbersaw will be GTFOing, but if Mirana would not have revealed herself, they might have been able to catch them off guard. I mean, we got Rubik throwing out the ulti, throwing out the chakram from Timbersaw. The stun does come out from Wish Doctor. It does hit, but these guys don't have vision. They're way too deep. They don't want to go for the fight. Timbersaw does turn around and say, "Hey, bro, come on back." Chakra arms are flying everywhere, and these guys will be backing away. So overall, a failed gank. I think Mirana threw an arrow before the ulti, or after her ulti, so it basically made it delay the invisibility board. And the Alchemist charged up a stun, gonna throw a stun and catching the Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter in a little bit of trouble, really wish that his BKB. Wish like a nice ulti, catching a lot of damage on top of Gyrocopter, but that's not enough to kill him. If only he had a Maledict to throw on top of him, but he has 0 Maledicts at the current point in time. More worried about the heal to keep his carries alive. And by carries I mean Doombringer, not really Alchemist. Alchemist has his own heal and his ulti. Illusion Room picked up by Mirana. She's gonna go scout around with those, have a little fun, see what she can find. And Boker gonna be going for a Tornado Stick first. So we'll be seeing some cool things from that. And up top, we got Doombringer just having a nice little grand old time, hanging out the creeps. But we got a Gyrocopter trying to see if he can get into range, close enough to drop a call down, and possibly get a free kill on top of this Doombringer. But Doom will be a little bit too far away for him to actually get any of that, and he is a little bit too aware. Meanwhile, down bottom, Timbersaw farming up what he can, and as far as farming up what he can, let's go and take a look at the rest of the items. So Gyrocopter is closer and closer to that BKB, just a little bit gold off, so he doesn't want to die anytime soon. Alchemist Shadow Blade is up, and he's actually, is he en route? Yes, he is en route to come down bottom to kill this Timbersaw. Mirana arrow does fly, it does miss, it does hit a creep instead. Meanwhile, mid, we got Rubik still himself, probably cold snap. No, he's still Tornado. Jeez, that's a beautiful spell for Rubik to have. If only he had a Blink Dagger. Meanwhile, down bottom, we got an Alchemist showing up. Timbersaw trying to see if he can go for the man fight. Does give himself a nice little Timber Chain before anything happens, but it doesn't matter. He gets stunned already. Gets hit with another stun. Gets hit with another stun. Wish Doctor ulti to fly. Why the freak not? And Broker does throw a Tornado EMP. EMP takes forever to explode. I don't think it really caught anybody. I think, did Rubik just blink? Does Rubik have a blink? Nope. Okay, no, Rubik did not just blink. For a second, I thought Rubik had a Blink Dagger, but I can dream, can't I? So Enchantress just hanging out in the jungle with her Alpha Wolf, getting a whole bunch of damage for free. Mirana ulti does go through. The question is where these guys are going to rotate. Mirana is coming out of the jungle, trying to see if she can get out of there alive, and she will be able to get out there in one piece. Good thing she didn't walk this way, because if she would have walked that way, she would have been revealed, and the whole entire Radiant side probably would have TP'd mid and try to rotate around and cut her off. But Mirana not going to be able to find anything. Gator trying to, doing a little bit of fishing with that ulti. That's one thing you can do. You can be aggressive with the ulti, or you can be defensive. Meanwhile, we got Mirana a little bit, not Mirana, like Chris Maiden. Crap, not Chris Maiden. That person who just died, Enchantress, she is down. She got hit with a nice little tornado, plus an arrow. Easy kill, easy game, easy rares, easy life. Nice little setup coming up from these guys. Gyrocopter around the corner, trying to see if he can catch a kill on top of this Doombringer. It's going to be slightly difficult, especially since Doom's ulti's up. And also Doom has an Alpha Wolf, so he's going to do a lot of damage to Gyrocopter if these guys do decide to try to go toe-to-toe. Meanwhile, top Central are getting dropped down by Crystal Bandit preemptively, trying to make sure nobody sneaks up on her. Arrow from Mirana does fly. Beautiful dives coming out from Friglet, but he's still getting hit with a whole bunch of damage. Mirana is on the chase. She's on the prowl. Crystal Bandit going to turn around, go full man mode, does go full woman mode and dies. Boker does throw himself a nice little ghost walk. These guys do know that he's invisible right now. They're pinging around the map, saying, hey, where's the sentries? Where's the sentries? No dust of appearance on the side of the die. Actually, no, there's one on Rubik, but he is nowhere to be found at this current point in time.
Tower has been denied.
Oh wait, never mind, he's here. Oh, live. I lied, guys. CulBlu knows not what he speaks. But Rubik does have a dust of appearance, so Boker needs to be a little bit careful. So let's go and take a look at the hero levels, because we can see essentially everybody has level 2, and oh my gosh, it's a big team fight about to happen. TP's coming down bottom. Doombringer is standing still, wants to go for a stun or something, I don't really know. I think he's playing shopping game team, but he goes throw his ulti on top of somebody. I'm not actually sure who he threw. He threw on top of Gyrocopter, not the best of targets, but hey, they're going to go for the kill anyway. Chris made an ulti to fly as well, just to see if she can slow down anybody and try to go for the kill. And meanwhile, Rubik is trying to run away, and Boker trying to get the one more last hit that he needs, does get it. We'll be able to pick up that kill. Wish like a beautiful stun coming on through. He does survive. Actually, no, I take it back, and Boker saying, nah, bro, you're not going to die. You're not going to live today. And that's essentially, from my perspective, that's essentially a team wipe. Essentially forced Ahead.kz to just abandon all positions that they had and just GTFO. 3 people were lost to props and 0 people. So props, I mean, yeah, they're down the kill counter, but they're still really doing well as far as the XP or gold and XP goes. And as far as all that goes, there's a gold graph that shows you guys that Ahead are down right now. So props do have the advantage right now. And XP goes, I mean, XP shows that prOp do have the slight advantage right now. Beautiful stun coming up from Alchemist, catch on top of 2, but really nothing to really follow up on that. Too much backup for these guys. Too much backup for these guys right now. Yes, as far as XP goes, as far as XP graph goes, as I always say, the XP graph is relatively irrelevant because the longer the game goes on, the closer it converges to 0. But it's still a really nice indicator of where everybody is at this current point in time. And as you guys can see, Ahead.kz did have a nice little hold onto the goal graph for a little bit, but I think that was mainly because of the fact that they were more so solo farming as opposed to prOp, who were kind of playing 5-man Dota a little bit more. And then Ahead.kz started playing a little bit more 5-man Dota, try to go for ganks and stuff, and now prOp are being a little bit more separate. And they're actually winning their fights now, recently. I was also going to try to attribute that to a Handamitis, but both sides have a Handamitis, so the Handamitis do cancel each other out as far as the bonus XP goes. And no, there's a Doombringer too. I don't know if he gets bonus. Yeah, he doesn't get bonus
Radiant's
XP.
middle tower is under attack.
That would be sick if he got bonus XP. Anyway, Invoker gonna find himself a Doombringer walking on through, trying to see if he can get or go anywhere. Meanwhile, Miranda does pick up a kill on top of Gowercup. So Gowercup does die down bottom. Easy kill, easy game, easy life, easy rares. Meanwhile, we see Doombringer come on the corner. He does so a nice little trying to go for a gank on top of Timbersaw. Timbersaw does have support in the form of Invoker, but now Invoker silenced up. He's taking a whole bunch of damage. So much damage coming from Doombringer. Doombringer does get the kill. Meanwhile, Timbersaw got the kill on top of Rubik. Who will win this fight between Timbersaw and Doombringer? I'm pretty sure Doombringer will win this fight, but Timbersaw shouldn't die from it though. And the Force Staff gets picked up by Invoker while he's in the grave. So instead of going for that Tornado Stick first, he did opt to go ahead and go for that Force Staff, which I do agree with. Force Staff, really good item to have on Invoker. Tornado Stick, nice item to have for setting up your spells to explode somebody. But with a Quas Wax Invoker, you don't really need to have yourself a Tornado Stick, because the damage that you're going to be doing is not going to be as much as if you were going for a Quas Exort Invoker. And just to elaborate a little bit on that, basically what I mean by a Quas Exort Invoker is that you basically put more points in your Quas and your Exort. That's really, straight up, that's really all that means. And as far as the damage output that he can do with that, it all really comes from Sunstrike plus Meteor. And as you can see, Meteor really needs a few points inside of Exort to do a whole bunch of damage. And it also really needs a whole bunch of points inside Exort to do a whole bunch of damage to Sunstrike. And the idea behind a Tornado Stick Invoker is that basically you walk up to somebody, you throw down Tornado, you throw down your Sunstrike, you throw down a Meteor, and by the time all of that hits, oh, you also throw a Deafening Blast afterwards. But by the time you get through casting all of that, by the time the person hits the ground, all that's going to hit at the same time just do a massive amount of damage all at once, and it just explodes the person that's there. But like I said, with not many points inside of Exort, I mean, going for a Force Staff will be a little bit better. Orca Malevolence will be nice if you're going for a Quas Exort as well. Nice alternative to help with your mana generation too. But anyway, down bottom we got a fight happening too. Timbersaw does get hit with the Doombringer ulti, so he did just lose all of his reactive armor stacks. I'm not too sure. Doesn't matter. Cruiserman does TP down bottom. She does die very promptly. So now Timbersaw still trying to run away. Doombringer is going to stand still and try to get the kill. Does get the kill on top of Timbersaw with that burn damage. And here's Cruiserman. Here's Enchantress trying to do a little bit, trying to see if she can save these guys. Or kill these guys, but not going to be able to kill anybody. Rubik does go down. Invoker able to pick up a kill on top of that. And these guys are just fighting all over the place. I can barely keep my camera focused on the proper spot.
Radiant's middle tower has
So
fallen.
Doom buys himself a BKB, which means that he'll officially feel 0 damage from Crystal Maiden. And if Crystal Maiden does decide to turn around and go for a nice little Frostbite before throwing down an ulti again, all Doombringer has to do is just pop his ult or pop a BKB and just casually kill the Crystal Maiden. One other thing to note about the Doombringer is that he's been holding on to this Alpha Wolf for the longest of times. And this is an extremely cool thing to do because it just gives you so much free damage. So much free damage. Anyway, Ping's coming on the map. Invoker is spotted out. He does get hit with the arrow. Mirana able to pick up on top of that. Alchemist shows up from middle of nowhere, eats him alive. Mirana able to pick up kill on top of that. Timbersaw doing a nice little bit of damage to the Alchemist. Essentially got himself a free 15% damage, 15% of your HP as damage nuke on top of the Alchemist. And I'll explain that soon if these guys ever stop fighting. Wish I was a casket, and it says bonk. That's really about it. Alright, so the thing I was talking about was basically Whirling Death. So Whirling Death, it reduces your primary stat, or in addition to doing damage, 250 damage, it also reduces your primary stat by 15%. And since Doombringer is a strength hero, if Doombringer loses 15% of his primary stat, he loses essentially 15% of his, or Alchemist, sorry. Alchemist essentially loses 15% of his HP. So you can kind of look at it as a 15% of your maximum HP as damage type nuke. It's a really cool thing to think about. You can do some really good meta games. Gargoyle's a beautiful bait coming up from these guys. These guys will be into a fight that they did not want to go for. Doombringer ulti does fall on top of Broker. He's trying to go for the kill on top of him. Trying to get one more right click. That's all he really needs. I think that's, yeah, he should be able to get one right click and he should be able to get the kill with the rest of the damage. Alpha Wolf helping out immensely. Meanwhile, Alchemist down on the backside and Broker does go down. Doombringer trying to run away. He's going to TP out once again. He's been doing this all game long. He's been pretty much playing guerrilla warfare style on the Doom. And I apologize, guys. I can't really follow one fight because there's always like 3 fights going on at once. But people died. I think I caught the deaths of both. I hope. If not, then I'll try harder next time. So Marana ulti does go through. These guys will be trying to see if they can go for wraparound gank. This is 4-on-4 fight if they do want to go for Marana. Arrow does fly around the corner. Catches a Timbersaw. Probably not the best of targets to catch first, but hey, at least he won't be able to just be as disruptive as possible. Rubik steals himself something nice. He stole himself a nice little chakra. And now we got Enchantress doing a whole bunch of damage to Doombringer. Doombringer turns around, eats a creep, and he should be fine. Enchantress trying to survive a little bit. Casket does not bounce, but man, talk about chainsaws. Enchantress getting melted. Gyrocops ulti does fly through. Hits absolutely nobody. Game is paused right now. Enchantress having a few issues on top of that, or maybe just a tactical pause. But a ping's coming around the map. Yeah, that was a ping from Marana. I'm not too sure what was going on with that, but she's stuck in the trees right now. Meanwhile, Invoker, he's here. He's building himself what looks to be a Pipe of Insight instead of going for a Tornado Stick. And as you can see, he actually sold his other Sobi mask. I think that's what it's called. Sage's mask. Right, he sold his Sage's mask, and he's going to run for something else. Anyway, Marana's caught inside the trees. Tornado from Invoker. I think it should be able to scatter out. The ping's coming into the corner saying, hey, somebody's over here, but they do not want to go back for that, because the reinforcements coming up from the Dire is actually pretty strong. Gyrocops is here. He gets a kill on top of Chris Manning. Using the cooldown for that. Definitely worth it. Only 45 seconds on that cooldown. Not going to really miss it too much, even if it's just a support. But Timbersaw has his Bloodstone, guys, and I don't think he's died. I don't think he's died since he's had it. Actually, no, I think that he has died. Because he had 4 stacks last time. I checked. And now he has 5 or 6. Anyway, Marana trying to run away. She does have a leap. She can't use it. She needs to. I'm trying to follow, but my darn it, mouse. My mouse keeps doing things that it's not supposed to do. Marana arrow does fly through, does miss everything, and Marana's TPing out. Checks TV's back to base, so a nice little play coming out from her, trying to set up her team for a nice little slam dunk. Ping's coming into the Roshan pit. Doombringer and Alchemist do want to go for the kill on top of that, and they should have enough damage to kill it fast enough. But my only concern is how healthy they'll be afterwards. Speaking of the double, here's a Witch Doctor, who throws himself a nice little heal for everybody. Alchemist ulti's going through as well, so a lot of regen going his way. And he's actually going for straight up Hyperstone, so no Hyperstone for Doombringer. They're going to go for a Hyperstone instead on top of Alchemist first, and I think he's getting bashed up. Roshan just got stunned. Alright, Alchemist done. Witch Doctor Casket? All this confusion, guys. All this confusion. Wait, does Alchemist have a basher? No, he doesn't have a basher. Invisibility. Anywho, Alchemist has himself an AC in the courier, essentially. He just needs a recipe and he'll be fine with that. I think he needs roughly 800 more gold. And, well, look, we have a whole huge stack of Ancients right here. So he's going to go ahead and kill it. Wish I could help him out on point so he can catch some more XP for himself. Get a few points inside of Maledict. Why not? And also he'll hurry up and reach his higher level so he can be a little more survivable as well. So with the help of Witch Doctor, with our powers combined, Alchemist kills the Ancients slowly but surely. And Tornado gets on top of Rubik. Rubik does dodge a little bit of damage because of that Tornado, and he actually turns around, goes for a man fight, does survive for quite a while. If people would stop attacking, I think he might have been able to survive and become invisible in time. But I mean, the AoE damage coming out from these guys would have been more than enough to kill him. Invoker, I don't know if Invoker had any more AoE, but Timbersaw definitely had AoE has AoE for days. In the form of Chakra Arm and also a Whirling Death and a Temperature. Essentially everything. And he's actually going for Shiva's Guard right now, so that's going to be really sexy once he gets that up. Gyrocops is using that missile, going to go force itself falling through. Ulti from Witch Doctor. Was that the ulti from Witch Doctor? Nope, wasn't that ulti from Witch Doctor. Anyway, somebody just died. What? Chris Main just died. BKB's getting popped. Gyrocops is dodging himself a nice little stun from Alchemist. Alchemist did throw it in time, and now we got the chases ending right now. Both sides will be going back to respective sides of the river, except with the simple exception of Enchantress, because she's like, bro, I'm a boss. I hang out here. I live here. And Doombriger's illusions actually will scatter out. She does steal one of the illusions. That is a... I was about to say, that's a free AC aura, but no, that's not the right one. That is an Alchemist who has AC right now. Tornado getting thrown out by Invoker. Invoker doing a really nice job playing that Quas Wex Invoker. And just for everybody who's wondering right now, the reason why I'm such a huge fan of Quas Wex Invoker as opposed to Quas X1 Invoker is because the initiation power that you have as a Quas Wex Invoker is ridiculous. Basically, you build Quas Wex Invoker, then you build yourself a Blink Dagger, and you just go and kill everything. Anyway, speaking of killing everything, Doombringer is going to come up forward, try to get the kill on top of Gyrocopter. He should not be able to get the kill on top of that. It won't be enough damage. He just might sacrifice an Aegis for all this stuff. Alchemist comes in, perfect timing, gets himself a nice little stun. Wishlock, a beautiful ult, catch on top of a few people. Chris Manning going to be one of the people going down. Doombringer does go down, but that's only an Aegis, and then all the losses are Alchemist and a Doombringer. Timbersaw forced to buy back, so buyback was wasted on top of that. Now Doombringer looks like he won't be able to make us alive. That is an AC that's going to be down for a little while. And look at Timbersaw. Yeah, Timbersaw timber chaining forward, trying to chase these guys, continuing for the chase. Does catch a Witch Doctor, who's actually out of mana right now, so he's pretty much all but dead right now. Trying to juke in the trees. He does have enough mana for a TP, but I don't think he'll be able to do too much if he does make it out of that one. And just one more alt right click is all he has to dodge. He will be able to survive somehow, some way. He's still alive right now, guys. He has 0 mana right now. They're trying to go for the chase. Will they be able to catch him is a big question. Mirren is trying to make the great escape. Does buy himself a Blade of Valkyrie, and he does have his Aghanim Scepter finished up. And he does finally go down. Gyrocopter able to finish off with a nice little flat kill. And Boker did have him on the flank with a Sunspec as well. But Witch Doctor able to survive long enough to buy that last piece of his Aghanim Scepter. And the Ags on Witch Doctor, I mean, really, all that he's missing right now is just a BKB. Or just something to keep him alive. Aghanim Scepter definitely not enough to keep him alive in all these fights, especially with an AC up on top of Alchemist. That's going to be an easily killed Witch Doctor who has all of 3 armor. To put into perspective, AC reduces your enemy's armor by 5. So Witch Doctor is going to have a -2 armor once the fights do break out with Alchemist still there, still alive. But yeah, Witch Doctor definitely needs something to stay alive, or to keep him alive. I think a Medallion of Courage would be in order, just to help them kill Doombringer faster, because one Doombringer's downfall is crappy armor. He's level 16, he has 6 or 5 armor, which, I mean, I think a little bit of that's coming from agility. Yeah, that Blade of Valkyrie helping out. I mean, we got Doombringer getting the ulti on top of Timbersaw. Timbersaw not going to be able to do anything right now, just stand still and die, but he does have a Void Stone. That's a lot of resources getting used just to kill Timbersaw. And now we got Gyrocopter ulti catching everybody, a whole bunch of damage going towards Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter needs to be very careful, he does go down at the end of the day. Now we got Enchantress on the run, does get hit with the stun from Alchemist. She will be going out. Christmas is already dead, I don't know how she died, but Rana does leap forward from the middle of nowhere. There's an Enchantress going down, guys, and finally, CulBlu catches the entire fight. An arrow from Mirana. This fight is not over just yet. And Boker from downtown. Beautiful arrow from Mirana. Does catch herself a kill. She might be able to catch a celebratory kill. Too many creeps around for the second fall to actually hit perfectly. So the creep's able to keep Invoker alive. He did force himself out of there. And this looks like this will be a free 2 towers for Ahead.kz. And Ahead.kz saying, bro, we may be down in match, but we are definitely not out of this one. We're definitely not out of this one. We're ahead in the kills. Our team fight is a little bit better than the enemy, or than you guys is. And that is very true, guys, because Quas Wex Invoker, like I said, he's extremely good at initiating. But without that Blink Dagger, I mean, it's kind of hard to get your positioning correct. And it becomes significantly worse as far as initiation goes when people start building BKBs, because we have Doombringer with the BKB, we have Doombringer with the BKB, we also have Alchemist. Okay, never. I thought Alchemist had a BKB. Nope, just Doombringer with the BKB. And pretty much Doombringer having a BKB, that's really all you need for your team. Doombringer's top priority for his ulti is basically Invoker. If he just ultis Invoker, that's all the CC that prOp have to rely on gone, because Enchantress, she has a slow, that's really about it. Chris Maiden, she doesn't really do enough damage to be really focused. I mean, yeah, she dies on 3 hits. So, yeah, Timbersaw, he just doesn't die for the most part. Relatively speaking, he just doesn't die. And Gyrocopter, once he throws his ulti, I mean, it's pretty much all the CC he has. So, basically, having Invoker hit with that Doom is pretty much making Invoker not really able to do much. And that hinders a team fight of prOp so hard that it's not even funny. But all that said, guys, I'm still a huge fan of Quas Wex Invoker. I don't know how many times I'm going to say that this entire game. I'm very happy to see you here. But you guys are seeing firsthand why Quas Wex Invoker is not really all that played that much. Because, I mean, Invoker doesn't really contribute much once people start building BKBs. And if you do Quas X on Invoker, you can at least do some right clicks or maybe get a lucky Sunstrike or somewhere here or there. So my Rubik stole Timber Chain. Just gonna go ahead and Timber Chain across some few trees, scouting out things. Meanwhile, we got down bottom, we got Doombringer going full main mode, trying to go for the kill on top of Invoker. Invoker looks like he will be going down to that because I think he has enough ticks on. No, and chances will be able to heal up. And Doombringer's on the run, getting chased by a missile. No TP scroll to name up, or to be named, but his BKB is actually on cooldown too. He's running as fast as he possibly can. We got the support in the form of Rubik and also Witch Doctor around the backside, but they're not really going to do anything. But the missile is going to finally catch up to Doombringer soon, and Doombringer will be getting hit with that. Meanwhile, down bottom, Mirana having a nice grand old time with her Mask of Madness. Got a Gator saying, hey CulBlu, I know you hate Mask of Madness on Mirana, but I'm going to do it anyway. And at this point in the game, all he's trying to do is get some right click damage on top of some people. MKB was picked up by her, or by Gator, so that basically means that Gator just wants to try to get as much damage output as possible. Doesn't really care for all that much about her survivability. And just look at the damage, just going for a machine gun on top of Chris Manning. No crit at all. Who needs crits when you have that kind of damage output? And essentially Mirana's playing Glass Cannon right now. Killing Ancients in like 5 hits. Mask of Madness does finally wear out. She does get a little bit of life steal from that, but it's not really all that much. Alchemist claims the last of those Ancients, and he buys himself the first piece of what looks to be a BKB, or potentially a Desolator, which I think Desolator would be sexy as heck, but nope, it's going to be a BKB. Mirana ult getting used. She's trying to go for kill down bottom on top of Gyrocopter. Gyrocopter knows that he's not safe right now, and he will pop his BKB if he needs to, but looks like he won't have enough time to. Mirana, beautiful arrow, going to be catching a lot of damage on top of Gyrocopter. She can't leap forward, and she will leap forward very soon if she needs to. Actually, no, who needs to leap forward when you have that kind of move speed? There's a Gyrocopter going down. Beautiful kill from Gator. Beautiful execution overall. That's a bit like, I mean, yeah, Mask of Madness, I still don't like it as far as the item pickup on Mirana, but at the end of the day, like I said, what Gator wants to do is just get as much damage output as possible, and you see it right there. She got, what, 1 second stun? A 1 second stun from her arrow because it was, okay, 0.5 second stun on top of Gyrocopter was all she needed to get the kill on top of him. And she did not have to use her leap to do it because she has the damage output, because she has attack speed. So the Mask of Madness, I don't know how many times I'm going to say this, but a Mask of Madness will be a nice little holdover until she does get a better item such as a Mantis Owl, or maybe even AC of her own if she wants to go that route. Meanwhile, on top we got Doombringer getting caught out. He's going to go ahead and TP on out. Nobody has anything to stop it, not even Invoker or Timbersaw. And he's fine. All he had to do is just pop a BKB, which should be on like a 4-second BKB by now. No, 5 seconds. Sunstrike does come in from Invoker. If that was a little bit early, he might have been able to deny it, or get the Aegis, or get the Roshan kill for himself. Which the gold would definitely have been much appreciated, because the gold graph has taken a nice gigantic slope on downwards towards Ahead.kz, and Ahead.kz guys are officially ahead by crazy numbers, 1400 in their favor. As far as XP graph goes, I mean, I still hold my same thoughts that basically it's not really relevant if the game goes on too terribly long, but these guys are doing a really good job of making sure they get their farm, making sure they survive these fights, and really it's just shows you that prop don't really have anything to offer late game. I said this before. I said this at the very end, or beginning, that Doombringer and Alchemist need their gold to be effective, and Doombringer wasn't getting in the early game, and prop were doing really well in the early game because Crystal Maiden and Enchantress, that's where they shine. But right now we're heading to the late game. We're heading to the late mid game, not really late game just yet. And yeah, Enchantress, she's just pretty much running around trying to throw down wards, maybe throw a Frostbite. But even if she throws a Frostbite on Doom, he just pops a BKB and walks away. And just walks. Or just after the Frostbite ends, he just punches her 3 times and she dies. He's one-shotting creeps, guys. Because he has a free Chrysalis in the form of a Alpha Wolf. And he's been holding on to that for a long time, so his damage output is too darn high, I do agree. But we got the nice little wraparound coming on from these guys, trying to see if they can get something. Nobody's going to be here. We're stuck with the Aghanim Scepter. It's going to be really nice once, like I said, it's going to be bouncing all around. I don't think he's used his ulti since he bought his Aghanim Scepter, but once we do see that happen, that will be some awesome things going on. Arrow from Mirana does to initiate. Timbersaw might be getting called the ulti. It looks like Rubik does kill himself with Chakram, so that's going to be really nice to have. Doombringer ulti does fly on top of somebody. It does fly on top of Invoker. Best target, like I said, guys, all he's going to do is just focus Invoker, get the ulti up on top of him, and then just force him to die every single time. Meanwhile, Mirana does get the kill on top of Crystal Maiden. Easy kill, easy game, easy life, easy race. Timbersaw getting caught in the trees. He's going to pop himself a Shiva's Guard. Gets a kill on top of Mirana. Mask of Madness. OP, please nerf Valve. And it looks like she does go down. Meanwhile, we got Enchantress with Mask of Madness on her own, doing a whole bunch of work, doing a whole bunch of damage to Witch Doctor. His ulti did fly through. I did not see the result of it, but it doesn't really matter. Doombringer going to go for a full man fight, getting surrounded by everybody. Crystal Maiden is the only one dead for the Radiant. They're able to hold, but they lost their tier 3 tower, and they also weren't able to claim that kill on top of Alchemist. So at the end of the day, I would definitely say Ahead.kz did have a worthwhile encounter. I would be the one to say that was an even trade for both sides. Basically because Doombringer's dead, and you don't want that to happen. Doombringer essentially had to die twice, and he did die twice. Witch Doctor, he went down as well. Mirana, she went down too, and she was doing really well. I think she just gave a lot of gold to the cause of the Radiant. But that said, a tier 3 tower is finally broken. There you go, guys. Gyrocopter claimed himself 1,264 gold for killing one freaking person. And Mirana must be level 25. Nope, she's level 21, and Gyrocopter is level 18, so... That killing streak from Mirana getting ended was a lot of gold going towards Gyrocopter's way. I mean, it goes without saying. And Gyrocopter does decide to go for E-Blade, which I do question heavily. It will keep him alive and possibly one other person alive, but once Doombringer drops himself a nice little level death, they're pretty much going to be dead anyway. Tornado does come out from Invoker. The fight is trying to go on, but these guys will not be, or will be able to claim the tower, and that's really about it. It will be back in the way. Enchantress Mask of Madness was bought up on top of her, which means that she'll die a lot faster, but she'll also be able to deal out the damage just like a Mirana would. But her damage is not as scary as Mirana's, because I mean, if you just get close to her, she just doesn't do that much damage to her. Whereas Mirana, she has an MKB. That damage is persistent as long as Mask of Madness is going on. Sure, but even with that said, same thing for Enchantress. Her damage is not really persistent. Her damage is not as reliable as Mirana's damage is. So, basically what I'm trying to say is Mirana is out carrying Enchantress, which is an understatement because Alchemist is out carrying everybody right now, and so is Doombringer. Even though he keeps dying, very questionable deaths. I do agree, but still, he does keep dying. Invoker Aghanosceptor's picked up, so he'll be able to do some nice little spell switching on his own and get himself a 2-second cooldown, I think, on his ulti. 0 mana cost for his ulti as well. Arrow from Mirana does fly, does not catch anybody. It looks like these guys will be trying to knock on this tier 3 door, but they will not be able to break into his tier 3 door. The creeps are coming in, the creeps are going to be going down, and that tower did take a half, just a little bit under a half of its HP. This is gone. I think a Sunstrike from Invoker did fly through, just to see if he scouts something out around the corner, or maybe that was a call out from Gyrocopter. I'm not too sure which one's which. Meanwhile, we got Mirana down bottom. Her Mask of Madness is off cooldown, so if she does catch out anybody, she'll probably just try to go for the kill, go for the juggler, as Tigers do. Speaking of going for the juggler, Enchantress is going to go ahead and go for a juggler of her own, and Mirana able to nicely disjoint that auto attack. But if that would have hit, I think that might have done a lot of damage. Anyway. Both sides, both of the women on both sides, both of the women with 4 legs, or on 4, okay, yeah, on 4 legs, I guess, technically. I don't know, technically Mirana's mount has hands, but those are also his legs, or her legs. I don't know, is that a she or a he that Mirana rides? I don't know, whatever it is, it's a saber-toothed lion tiger thing. Anyway, Invoker down bottom, taking a whole bunch of damage, coming out from Doombringer, and Doombringer once again dropping that ult on top of Invoker. All Doombringer's missing is Aghanosceptor, so he can make that thing last forever, but just pretty much every single fight, Doombringer's tossing on top of Invoker for the reasons that I stated before. Anyway, Doombringer taking a huge chunk of damage. If he had a Mask of Madness, he would have definitely been dead, but he thankfully doesn't. He will be getting healed around the backside from a Witch Doctor. Or maybe not. Alchemist is going to Shadow Blade and walk away. And now we're hitting that stage where basically the Ahead.kz are just waiting, buying their time. Collecting their farm out, trying to get all the lanes pushed in, and trying to see if they can finally break the base of the Radiant, or Team Prop. But the items are getting a little bit prettier on Team Prop's side. They're really going to need Gyrocopter to just survive all these fights. And speaking of surviving all these fights, Alchemist forced to pop a BKB just to survive. That is a fresh BKB that just got used, guys. A fresh BKB that just got used. So that will be on cooldown. He will not have the full duration of that. He will not have that extra second of the next fight. Meanwhile, Doombringer's getting chased. Mirana's getting chased with a nice little rocket coming out from Gyrocopter. And who's this going down? This is about to be a Witch Doctor going down. You don't want to have your supporters going down, especially not that early. Invoker does force out himself forward, throws on the ice wall, just to make sure nobody pursues, or just to make sure Witch Doctor went down. And yeah, Invoker, he's getting more Exort, getting more points in Exort. He's becoming a little bit more useful to his team now that he has some way to do some damage. He's becoming more than just a CC machine. But I still would argue, guys, that Invoker does need a Blink Dagger when he goes for Quas Wikes Invoker. And the reason why I say that is because being able to Blink Tornado, Blink Tornado, it's not as powerful as Blink Sanct or Blink's Burrow Strike, or it's even not as powerful as Blink Earth Spike coming out from Lion. But if you're able to Blink and Tornado, you can get to some nasty positions. Just to catch a whole entire team off guard. Like, say the Dire are marching down mid, say they're coming on down mid, basically Invoker, all he has to do is just stand over here. He'll blink like right next to him, throw down a tornado, catch every single one of them, and that's pretty much essentially a big advantage for them early in team fights. Anyway, Invoker does get hit with a nice little arrow. That is a Mirana around the corner. She does have a Mask of Madness ready to go. BKB getting popped on Mirana. She wants to go for the kill on top of somebody. She just popped that BKB. That is a fresh BKB. Invoker able to move along away. Enchantress throwing out a right click just as a warning shot to force these guys away. And these guys are just playing a nice little tango. They're hanging out in the trees trying to see who is going to be going down. And Roshan is spawning in 30 seconds, guys. So the fight might be happening there soon. Both sides are trying to stake their territory now. They know Roshan should be back up very soon. Whether it should be either 8 minutes or 13 minutes. It's like a 5-minute difference. 5-minute gap. And BKB is up on Enchantress. That is exactly what their team needs. They need BKBs for everybody. Basically because a lot of the damage is still magic damage coming up from Ahead.kz. Yeah, sure, Mirana does have some right click damage, but when you have Witch Stack... Actually, no, that's physical damage. Never mind, guys, never mind. Yeah, that's a lot of physical damage coming out from Ahead.kz. Yeah, it's a lot of physical damage. Rubik's... No, Rubik's. Witch Doctor's ulti, I think that's physical damage. That's totally physical damage, so yeah, it's all right clicks coming out from Ahead.kz. Really all prOp can do is just buy a bunch of armor and just hope they stay alive. And I don't see an AC built up on anybody. Timbersaw does have a Shiva's Guard, which is really helping his team stay alive in these fights. I do agree with that. That armor reduction, also that freezing aura, just to help them stop the attack speed of people who are trying to kill them. Really, really helpful. So Roshan's going to get murdered here very soon, and while he's getting murdered, let's go and take a look. Oh man, Sunstrike coming up from Invoker a little bit too early, wasn't able to do enough to kill Roshan, or wasn't time well enough to kill Roshan, and there's an Aegis pick up by Mirana, probably one of the scariest persons to have her right now, because like I said before, she's a glass cannon with the Mask of Madness, but who really cares if you're a glass cannon when you have an Aegis? Basically means you're gonna pop your Mask of Madness, go for a kill on top of like 2 people, 3 people, die, come back to life, pop your BKB, go for a kill on top of another person, and then just ult and run away. I would imagine we'll see that come out from Mirana here very soon. But she's only level 22, wow. So I keep looking at the items, meaning to talk about all of them, but these guys keep doing a lot. Like we got a smoke game going around the backside, so the Radiant looking to be aggressive, looking to get jump on top of the Dire, and it looks like Ahead.kz might be getting caught off guard because this is a Doombringer all alone. His BKB is a 4-second BKB. All he can really do is pop it, but it doesn't really matter. He's going to be taking too much right-click damage. He's trying to run away. Mirana ulti does fly through. Doombringer does go invisible just in time. No detection for these guys, and Alchemist does pick up a kill on top of Enchantress, of all people, and it looks like he's in the middle of everything, trying to go for a kill. He does get Blade does get used on top of Chris May to make sure she stays alive, and Chris May will turn around the false fight. That does end it, and it doesn't matter. Alchemist is able to get the kill on top of that. Meanwhile, Witch Doctor ulti's bounce on top of everybody, doing a whole bunch of damage, doing a whole bunch of work. Timbersaw does go down. The Dire just showed up from the middle of nowhere. They're able to reinforce very, very fast. Extremely good response coming up from the Dire. They were en route when the Radiant were initially trying to go for the kill. And at the end of the day, the Radiant claimed absolutely nothing except for their own graves. What started off as essentially a beautiful gank just turned all kinds of horrible. Towards the back end of that. And that's basically because, I mean, Doombringer, he had his BKB. Yes, it's only a 4-second BKB, but it was more than enough for him to get far enough away to survive, and then nobody really had the damage to finish him. He needed like maybe 3 more right clicks. And speaking of right clicks, these guys have right clicks for days coming out from the Ahead.kz, and this is going to go ahead and wail away at these towers, taking advantage of the fact that they have a better late game team. And the reason why they have a better late game team is because they have people who can do physical damage a little bit more effectively than people on team prOp side. Because if you look at a team prOp side, I mean, yeah, they have Enchantress who can deal some nice right click damage, but she's really relying on the impetus for her damage output, and that's basically. The reason why I say that is because she has an Aghanim Scepter, which increases the damage that gets done by impetus by, I think, like, something like that. It does more damage. It makes it do more damage. You know, I think it also increases attack damage. Anyway, we got Rubik getting caught out. Not the best of places to be a Rubik, but he's actually going to stand still and die. Throws that chakra on, does a nice little chunk of damage to Chris May. Meanwhile, that bottom, big team fight is happening. Mirana is going to be taking a whole bunch of damage. She doesn't really care. She has Aegis right now. BKB's galore getting popped. Timbersaw going to go into the middle of that fight saying, hey, I want to join this party. It does take a whole bunch of damage. Witch Doctor ulti bounce on top of everybody, doing a whole bunch of damage, killing everybody. Invoker's about to be going out. He's probably dead already. Meanwhile, Gark comes trying to turn around, gets a little bit of damage on top of Doombringer. Not going to be enough. GG's coming on through. Mirana buys herself a Desolator, and she also buys herself a main style, and just casually kills Timbersaw. And that is the end of the game. GG's are thrown out. Really good game, and that means we're going to be going to a game 3, guys. So we will be seeing ourselves 2 games today. even if CulBlu showed up late to the party. So once again, prOp are up by 1. Ahead.kz just claimed himself 1, and the score is officially tied. And that was a very, very great way to end that game. So, like I said, my name is CulBlu. It's about you guys the Heaven and Hell Dota 2 tournament game. This is in the winners bracket, so it is a best of 3, which means we have one more since I missed the first one. And prOp won the first one. Ahead.kz just won this one. So I'll see you guys in the next cast, and I hope you guys enjoy the cast. I'll see you guys whenever.